Dating can be a roller coaster of emotions, especially when you're trying to figure out what someone else is thinking or feeling. One of the most confusing experiences is when a girl seems to switch between being incredibly interested in you one moment and then suddenly distant the next. This hot and cold behavior can leave you scratching your head, wondering what's really going on. In this blog post, we'll explore the reasons behind this perplexing pattern, what it truly means, and how you can navigate these choppy waters of modern romance. By the end, you'll have a clearer understanding of why girls sometimes act hot and cold, and more importantly, how to respond in a way that leads to healthier, more fulfilling relationships. The psychology behind hot and cold behavior. To truly grasp why girls might act hot and cold, we need to delve into the psychology behind this behavior. It's not always a deliberate attempt to confuse or manipulate you. Often, it stems from a complex mix of emotions, past experiences, and subconscious fears. One of the primary drivers of hot and cold behavior is the fear of vulnerability. Opening up to someone new can be scary, especially if you've been hurt in the past. When a girl starts to feel a strong connection with you, it might trigger an instinctive need to pull back and protect herself. This can manifest as sudden coldness or distance, even if things were going well just moments before. Another factor at play is the natural ebb and flow of attraction and interest. It's normal for feelings to fluctuate, especially in the early stages of dating. What might seem like hot and cold behavior could simply be the result of these natural variations in emotion and attraction. Uncertainty about the relationship's status or direction can also lead to inconsistent behavior. If a girl is unsure about where things are headed or what you're looking for, she might alternate between showing interest and pulling back as she tries to gauge your intentions. Sometimes hot and cold behavior can be a subconscious test. By creating distance, she might be trying to see how you'll react. Will you chase her? Will you lose interest? Your response can provide valuable information about your level of investment in the relationship. It's also worth considering that what appears to be hot and cold behavior might actually be a misinterpretation of normal life circumstances. Everyone has ups and downs, busy periods, and times when they're more or less available. What you perceive as coldness might simply be her dealing with other aspects of her life. Understanding mixed signals. Mixed signals are a hallmark of hot and cold behavior, and they can be incredibly frustrating to deal with. One day, she's texting you nonstop, laughing at all your jokes and seeming completely invested in getting to know you. The next, her responses are short and infrequent, and she seems disinterested or even annoyed by your attempts to connect. These mixed signals often stem from internal conflict. She might be genuinely interested in you, but also wrestling with fears or doubts. Perhaps she likes you, but isn't sure if she's ready for a relationship. Or maybe she's trying to balance her attraction to you with other priorities in her life. It's also possible that she's not fully aware of the mixed signals she's sending. What feels like clear communication to her might come across as confusing or inconsistent to you. This is why open, honest communication is so crucial in dating and relationships. Sometimes, mixed signals can be a sign of game playing or manipulation. Some people use hot and cold tactics deliberately to keep others interested or to maintain a sense of power in the relationship. While this isn't always the case, it's important to be aware of this possibility and to set healthy boundaries for yourself. The role of attachment styles. Attachment theory, developed by psychologists John Bowlby and Mary Ainsworth, offers valuable insights into why some people tend to exhibit hot and cold behavior in relationships. Our attachment style, which is largely shaped by our early childhood experiences, can significantly influence how we approach and behave in romantic relationships as adults. There are four main attachment styles: secure, anxious, avoidant, and fearful avoidant. People with a secure attachment style generally feel comfortable with intimacy and are able to form stable, healthy relationships. They're less likely to exhibit extreme hot and cold behavior. Those with an anxious attachment style often crave closeness but fear abandonment. They might come on strong hot initially, but then pull back cold out of fear of getting hurt. This can create a push-pull dynamic in relationships. Individuals with an avoidant attachment style tend to value their independence and may feel uncomfortable with too much closeness. They might show interest initially, but then distance themselves when things start to get serious. This can manifest as classic hot and cold behavior. The fearful avoidant attachment style combines elements of both anxious and avoidant styles. People with this attachment style often have a strong desire for close relationships, but also fear intimacy. This internal conflict can lead to particularly confusing hot and cold patterns. Understanding attachment styles can help you make sense of hot and cold behavior, both in yourself and in others. It's important to remember that attachment styles aren't fixed. With self-awareness and effort, people can move towards a more secure attachment style over time. The impact of past relationships. Our past experiences in relationships can significantly influence our behavior in current and future relationships. If a girl has been hurt, betrayed, or disappointed in previous relationships, she might be more likely to exhibit hot and cold behavior as a form of self-protection. For example, if she's been cheated on in the past, she might be eager to connect with you but then pull back suddenly when things start to get serious. This could be her way of trying to avoid the pain of potential betrayal. Similarly, if she's had experiences where opening up led to rejection, she might alternate between showing vulnerability and putting up walls. This hot and cold pattern is her attempt to balance her desire for connection with her fear of getting hurt. Past relationships don't just influence our behavior through negative experiences. Positive experiences can also shape how we act in new relationships. If a girl has had a particularly fulfilling relationship in the past, she might unconsciously compare every new connection to that standard. This could lead to hot and cold behavior as she wrestles with whether the current relationship measures up. It's crucial to remember that everyone brings their own history to a new relationship. Being patient, understanding, and willing to communicate openly can help both parties work through the influence of past experiences. The role of societal expectations. Societal norms and expectations can also play a significant role in causing hot and cold behavior. In many cultures, there's still a prevalent idea that women shouldn't appear too eager or available in romantic situations. This can lead some girls to consciously or unconsciously play it cool even when they're genuinely interested. There's also the societal pressure to find the perfect relationship. With social media constantly showcasing idealized versions of love and romance, some people might exhibit hot and cold behavior as they grapple with whether a relationship meets these unrealistic standards. Moreover, the current dating landscape, with its abundance of options through dating apps and social media, can contribute to hot and cold behavior. The fear of missing out on a potentially better match might cause someone to pull back just when things are heating up. It's important to recognize these societal influences and to have honest conversations about expectations and pressures in dating. This can help both parties understand each other better and potentially move past hot and cold patterns. How to respond to hot and cold behavior. Dealing with hot and cold behavior can be challenging, but there are ways to navigate the situation effectively. The first step is to maintain your own emotional stability. Don't let your mood and self-worth be dictated by her inconsistent behavior. Remember that her actions are more about her own internal struggles than they are about you. Communication is key. If you're experiencing hot and cold behavior, it's important to address it directly but gently. Express how her inconsistent behavior makes you feel and ask if there's anything going on that she'd like to talk about. This opens the door for honest dialogue and can help uncover any underlying issues. Setting clear boundaries is also crucial. Let her know what kind of behavior you're comfortable with and what you're not. It's okay to say that the hot and cold pattern is confusing and hurtful, and that you need more consistency in the relationship. While it's important to be understanding, don't make excuses for consistently poor behavior. If the hot and cold pattern persists despite open communication and clear boundaries, it might be time to reevaluate whether this relationship is meeting your needs. Remember to focus on actions rather than words. If she says she's interested, but her actions consistently show otherwise, trust the actions. Consistency between words and actions is a key indicator of genuine interest and emotional availability. Lastly, don't try to crack the code or win her over by playing games in return. Responding to hot and cold behavior with your own inconsistency will only create a toxic cycle. Instead, be clear about your interests and intentions and let her make her own choices based on that. The importance of self-reflection. While it's easy to focus on understanding and responding to someone else's hot and cold behavior, it's equally important to engage in self-reflection. Are there ways in which you might be contributing to this pattern? Are you sending clear signals about your own interests and intentions? Sometimes, what we perceive as hot and cold behavior in others is actually a reflection of our own insecurities or inconsistencies. Take some time to examine your own behavior and emotional patterns. Are you fully available for a relationship? Are you communicating your needs and boundaries clearly? It's also worth considering whether you might have a tendency to be attracted to people who exhibit hot and cold behavior. If you find yourself repeatedly in these situations, it might be helpful to explore why you're drawn to this dynamic and whether it's serving your ultimate relationship goals. Self-reflection can also help you determine what you truly want and need in a relationship. This clarity can make it easier to navigate situations where someone is giving you mixed signals, as you'll have a better understanding of what you're willing to accept and what's a deal breaker for you moving towards healthier relationships. Understanding hot and cold behavior is just the first step. The ultimate goal is to move towards healthier, more fulfilling relationships. This requires effort from both parties and a commitment to open, honest communication. For the person exhibiting hot and cold behavior, recognizing this pattern is crucial. If you find yourself pulling away when things get too close, or suddenly losing interest when someone shows genuine care for you, it might be time to explore the reasons behind these reactions. Therapy can be an incredibly helpful tool in unpacking these patterns and learning healthier ways of relating. For the person on the receiving end of hot and cold behavior, it's important to advocate for your own needs. While it's good to be understanding, you shouldn't have to constantly guess where you stand in a relationship. It's okay to ask for clarity and consistency. Both parties need to work on building trust and creating a safe space for vulnerability. This means being reliable, following through on commitments, and being willing to have difficult conversations when necessary. It's also important to remember that healthy relationships involve the whole individuals coming together, not the halves trying to complete each other. Focus on personal growth and self-love, and you'll be better equipped to form and maintain healthy romantic connections. Lastly, don't rush. Building a strong, stable relationship takes time. It's okay to take things slow, to get to know each other gradually, and to let trust and intimacy develop naturally. This can help reduce the likelihood of hot and cold behavior and lead to more genuine, lasting connections. Hot and cold behavior in dating can be perplexing and frustrating, but understanding its roots can help you navigate these situations more effectively. Whether it stems from fear of vulnerability, past relationship trauma, attachment issues, or societal pressures, recognizing the underlying causes can foster empathy and open the door to better communication. Remember, while it's important to be understanding, it's equally crucial to maintain your own emotional well-being and to set clear boundaries. Don't compromise your own needs in an attempt to decipher or accommodate hot and cold behavior. Ultimately, the goal is to move towards relationships characterized by consistency, open communication, and mutual respect. By focusing on personal growth, honest expression of feelings and needs, and a willingness to work through challenges together, you can build healthier, more fulfilling romantic connections. Dating and relationships are complex, and there's no one-size-fits-all solution to navigating hot and cold behavior. However, with patience, self-reflection, and a commitment to open communication, you can work towards creating the kind of relationship you truly desire, one where both parties feel secure, valued, and free to be their authentic selves.